It's happening again. Anybody paying attention to the industry these past few days heard that Nintendo announced that they would be shutting down the eShop for the 3DS and the Wii U in March of 2023. Good news is that you have a year and some change to get whatever you want from their services. Bad news is that once they are gone, they'll probably be gone forever, as none of these games are probably going to be ported to the Switch anytime soon, if at all. So the next question is, what do I try and buy before they close? I don't know what you like to play, but I can throw out some suggestions. Here's my list for the top 5 Wii U games to consider before their eShop shuts down. Also, be sure to check out my video on the 3DS list as well, as that should be on the channel around the same time too. Before I get started, I want to briefly go over the criteria I use when compiling this list. Exclusivity. The games are something that you can only get on this system. Availability. How rare are these games? Can you easily buy them? Price. Regular stores no longer carry these games, which means you must buy them secondhand. A couple of these games are ridiculously priced. Emulation. Some systems are harder to emulate than others, especially when you need to accommodate for features like touch control, motion control, and 3D. Also, Nintendo is famous for cracking down on websites dealing with ROMs. There are some sites out there that still have them, but some of them are pretty sus, so there's that. This isn't a hard rule, mind you. Some games lean harder one way more than some others. Not every game checks every box on the list, but I'll explain why I did what I did. So let's get started. Number 5. Nintendo Land. So here's the deal. Nintendo Land isn't expensive to buy these days, online, new or used. In fact, it's cheaper to get a physical copy than it is to buy it digitally, so why is it on the list? Because it is one of the best case studies of what the gamepad could do. No game really made full use of the gamepad quite like it. I totally forgot about Nintendo Land until I started working on this video. I wonder how many other people forgot about it too. It's dirt cheap no matter which way you go. Give it a shot. Number 4. Metroid Prime Trilogy. This is one Wii game pack with 2 GameCube games. What gives? Well, not all are these games top shelf quality, but you get 3 of them for the low price of $20. There have been rumors of some kind of Metroid Prime port coming to the Switch, but no official details have come out about it yet, or if it's even the full trilogy, or just individual games. You can try and buy a copy, but that'll set you back at least $100. I don't know about y'all, but I'm gonna get it for $20. Number 3. Pandora's Tower. Remember Operation Rainfall? Here's a quick lesson. Rainfall was a grassroots campaign to get Nintendo to release 3 games in the West: Xenoblade Chronicles, The Last Story, and Pandora's Tower for the Wii. Eventually it worked and all 3 games made it to the West, making the campaign a success. So you're probably wondering why Pandora is on the list and not the other 2 Operation Rainfall games. Well, that's because only Xenoblade and Pandora's Tower got ported to the Wii U digitally, and The Last Story remains unported to this day outside of the Wii, sadly. Also, Xenoblade Definitive Edition pretty much invalidates any port of the game that's not on Switch. Pandora is a solid action RPG with a crazy premise. If you missed the window of opportunity and you want to get it after March, be prepared to drop around $100. Number 2. Ogre Battle 64, Person of Lordly Caliber. This bad boy is a hidden gem of the N64 library, a system starved of RPGs compared to the PS1 and the Saturn at the time. Ogre Battle is a real-time tactical RPG and the 3rd game in the series overall. Combine the fact that N64 emulation is somewhat janky with the fact that this game goes for about around $130 just for the card alone, you would do best to snack it on the eShop for $10 while you can. I know you can get N64 games right now on the Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pass, but this game isn't on there and somehow I doubt it ever will be. If it shows up, I'll update this video, but until then, Ogre Battle sits at number 2. Before I get to the number 1 spot, I want to briefly drop some honorable mentions. Zelda, Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess HD. These are enhanced ports of these games and are easily the best version of these games to get on the market. Sin and Punishment, Star Successor. An amazing follow-up to the N64 cult classic. Very reasonably on the used game market, but now it's even cheaper on the eShop. ZombiU. This game got ported to PC, Xbox, and PS4, but it doesn't have any of the gamepad functionality, and without it, makes the game mediocre. One of the few games to significantly be improved by the gamepad. Bomberman 64. Same deal as Star Successor, another great game that's priced reasonably used, but is basically a steal if you buy it off the eShop. And now, Super Mario Bros. Advance 4, Super Mario Bros. 3. Holy fuck, what a horrible title. Couldn't they have just called it Super Mario Bros. 3 Advanced? Anyway, this may seem wild to put number 1. It's not a Wii U game, it's a port of a partial port of a port of an NES game. Any significant upgrades to Mario 3 was made in Super Mario All-Stars. I thought so too until I found out that the port of Mario 3 includes the exclusive e-reader levels that came out with the Game Boy Advanced. I thought so too until I found out that this port of Mario 3 includes the exclusive e-reader levels that came out with the GBA. What the hell is an e-reader? Well, the e-reader was an add-on to the GBA that gave you the ability to enhance certain GBA games or straight up play classic NES games when you swipe specific cards to the slot. For Mario Advance 4, some of the cards had additional levels created just for this version of the game. And guess what this part of Mario Advance has special? That's right, e-reader levels are in the Wii U version of the game. Now say you want to play these levels after the eShop closes. First you need a GBA with an e-reader and a copy of the game. While not horrible on its own, the cards turn out to be quite an investment. The cards themselves have become increasingly rare and expensive to get a hold of, especially over time. And there's 2 sets of them, with the second one seemingly only sold new for around $90 or so. Add all that up and you're in the ballpark around $250. Or you could just spend $8 instead.